How's it going, everyone? Sir Douglas here once again with a brand new video. And are you all ready to recognize this team yet, or what? Are you all ready to acknowledge them yet, or what? Because this team just defeated the defending Grey Cup champions. Upon sober review, the Toronto Argonauts defeated the Saskatchewan Roughriders 40-34 in Regina. And oh boy, if you love defensive football, this was the game for you. No doubt about it. I mean, let's just get right into it here. So, first play of the game, the very first play after kickoff, Sam Hicks fires off a 61-yard run, and I mean, he had everybody fooled, including the camera crew. So, and I mean, he managed to streak through, get a very good gain to get inside the 20. Unfortunately, it was all for naught because Chad Kelly, once again, interceptions. At least, well, here's the thing. He does have a penchant for throwing pick sixes. Luckily, he didn't do that here. So, but he was intercepted on the goal line. Josh Woods cut it perfectly. Can't be mad at that. But that was pretty much that. But that was the turnover. Then you had Jonathan Kongbo getting a nice sack on Trevor Harris. That forces a 2-and-out. That led to Janarian Grant. House call. Exactly what we want to see from him. And this was absolutely beautiful too. So they'll punt it away. Grant underneath it. He goes in one direction. He makes a beautiful cut, and he makes a beautiful cut, sees daylight. He's gone. Turns on the afterburners. See you later. He is gonzo, right? And that's exactly what we were missing from Janarian Grant last year. I honestly think he might have been carrying a bit of a minor injury that was preventing him from hitting full speed, but this one left everybody in the weeds, left them all in the dust. Yeah, the extra point after that was good, and that was a 7-0 or very early 7-0 lead for Toronto. Liram Hiralahu once again showing that the first week where he only went 3 for 5 was a fluke. Kicked a nice little 51-yard field goal, and that was puts the lead to 10-0. Saskatchewan, damn near mispronounced that. They were able to drive to inside the 5. They were able to drive to the 5-yard line on their next possession. However, what no one told them was that it was tea time. Yeah. Trevor Harris throws an interception in the end zone to Tavares McFadden. One's almost a mirror image of the Josh Woods interception. Almost a mirror image. Very, very similar to that. And that pretty much ended the quarter. It was 10-0 after one. Start the second. Liram Hiralahu kicked a short little 24-yard field goal, and it was a 13-0 lead. But then we saw something that I don't like to see, and this was a silly challenge. Okay, I don't like to see coaches wasting challenges like this. Even Ryan Dinwiddie, who has his own meme at this point, but Mike Miller challenging the spot of the ball, and it's one of those things where in the CFL you're not going to get that. You're not going to get a spot of the ball challenge. So you pretty much just said, you know what, I'm going to make this harder for my team. I'm going to make this harder, and I'm going to just say, okay, you know what? Screw it. I don't think we're going to need this challenge later, so I'll just use it here. Sure enough, yeah, that was that. Saskatchewan at this point, though, now in a 13-point hole, they start to get it together, and they start to really do an 8-play drive from their own 40 after the field goal. Trevor Harris finds Keyshawn Johnson in the end zone. It was a hell of a grab. You couldn't be mad at that. It was a hell of a grab. Extra point good. 13-7, Toronto still leads. Toronto goes 2-and-out. And then Chapman kicked a 36-yard field goal to make it 13-10 for Toronto. However, in that, there was a challenge by Corey Mace for roughing the passer. Now, here's the thing. I had a good look at this. I didn't really drink during the live stream. That's fine. So I had a really good look at this twice, and several times actually, not just twice. But this was a clean tackle. This was a clean tackle by Toya. I can't pronounce that name by the Tongan defensive lineman. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna bother pronouncing it. I'm just gonna butcher it. Anyway, so he got Harris at the waist, and he kind of slid down a little bit. That's where I think Corey Mace saw it and said, you know what, that's rough on the passer. I'm going to challenge it. That's perfectly fine. I mean, I probably would have done the same thing to try and keep it going. So can't blame him for it. So, but I mean, ultimately, like I said, it's 13-10. Toronto still leads. The defense for Saskatchewan tended to wake up too, because Chad Kelly was sacked twice in the quarter. And up to that point, that was the third. I believe that was the third sack of the game that he had suffered. So, then we had once again John Haggerty. I don't know what the cover team is doing. I honestly don't, because he was nearly blocked again. It was a high snap. It was a rushed punt. Ultimately led to not good field position. Well, great field position if you're from the Saskatchewan point of view. However, on the return, Sam Emilus was hurt. Didn't return. So, and that's the thing. You really don't want to see that. You really don't want to see players getting hurt. So Saskatchewan, however, with the possession, they were able to got the touchdown. It was their new running back Conley. He runs in from the 17. He was completely untouched there. Extra point was good. Saskatchewan takes their first and only lead of the game, 17-13. Going into the dying moments of the half, though, oh boy. Terrible clock management by Toronto. Gave me a heart attack, to be perfectly honest. However, first play was Kelly found DeMonte Coxey for a first down. Great catch for him. And then less than 10 seconds left to go in the half. He found Tyler Common. Common scampers in for 6. So, and literally zeros on the clock when this happened. Extra point good. Toronto retakes the lead 20-17 at halftime. Going into the third quarter, Toronto makes some adjustments. However, they go no further than field goal range on the first drive. Liram from 47 yards. He actually shaved the paint off the right post. Still good though. 23-17. Toronto still leads. They get the ball back in very quick order. Andrew Chatfield, oh my God, completely, nobody blocked him. He just came in and just, literally ran Harris over. Literally ran him over like he was a truck on a rabbit. Came in absolutely clean. Argos used that energy to score another touchdown. Chad Kelly called his own number. Got in the end zone. Extra point was good. 30-17 Toronto leads. Now, 13-point leads, that seems to be the lucky... I just realized it was the 13-point lead. That tended to wake Saskatchewan. Whenever Saskatchewan gets down by that much, they tend to wake up. Coincidence? I think not. They started from their own 22. It was a 10-play drive, and Trevor Harris carving up the Toronto defense like a Thanksgiving turkey. Tommy Stevens, in the end, sneaks it home on a 2nd and goal. The extra point was good. To make it 30-24. However, there was one thing that I did note. First and goal, when you saw the nice little Kean Schaefer-Baker triple spin move, where as Luke Wilson said, spamming the circle button in Madden. One of his teammates, one of his own receivers was like the length of the 410 offside. He really was. He was solidly offside. There should be no debate about that, right? Absolutely none. But because it was an awesome play, it was an awesome play made by Kean Schaefer-Baker. It got ignored, and got back to within 6. Going into the fourth quarter, the Argos, however, answer right back. And it starts off with a roughing the passer, right? Wasn't dirty, wasn't a dirty hit, but it was a solid one. It was a solid second too late. And I know that there's Saskatchewan fans arguing that. Letter of the law, dude. You can't hit I mean, the ball was clearly in flight, and he hit him. Can't do that. Straight up. Okay? Anyway, besides all that, they got to field goal range but no further. Liram Hajrullahu, who kicks the field goal, was 33-24. Saskatchewan cranks up the pressure a little bit. Nice. This was another play where you just can't be mad. You just can't be mad with it. Keyshawn Johnson versus Benji Franklin out deep in the field. Trevor Harris throws it, and Keyshawn won it. Keyshawn won the exchange. Like I said, you can't be mad at it. It was a fantastic grab. Fantastic. Ultimately, Harris found that led to Harris finding Weeb to crash into some defenders to get into the end zone for the touchdown. Extra point was good. Saskatchewan pulls within 2. Toronto, however, doesn't answer back immediately. They do, but they don't do it immediately. The first play of the Saskatchewan drive, though, when Saskatchewan got the ball back after Toronto failed to do anything except eat some clock off. Trevor Harris found Jalen Johnson, and Adarius Pickett comes out, knocks the ball loose, and he recovers his own fumble. So now the Argos have massively great field position, and of course, as you should, Chad Kelly made them pay for the turnover, found Tyler Common in the end zone for a touchdown. Extra point was good. 40-31 lead for Toronto. Saskatchewan at this point, it's like you could tell that this was a Pier 6 brawl on a football field. They were starting to fade. They got a 2-and-out, and then we're inside the final 3 minutes now. This is something that really got on my nerves. Chad Kelly throws a little pass to Sam Hicks. The ball comes loose, and it was recovered by Saskatchewan. With that, you could see that it was a very, very clear face mask. Everyone on the Argos bench was saying, hey, that's a face mask. The referee said no. But then the replay center had to call up and say, hey, you guys fucked up. Okay? Everybody saw it, right? There is no argument to this. It was a face masking penalty that negated the turnover. Ultimately led to nothing anyway. Toronto had to punt at the end of the drive anyhow. But with that punt, it was absolutely clutch. An absolutely clutch punt from John Haggerty. Saskatchewan, with less than 2 minutes to go, had to work from their own 10-yard line. They do get close, but it was not close enough. They settled for a field goal and decided to gamble with the onside kick. And it nearly worked. It nearly worked because Toronto kind of screwed up, but ultimately they were able to recover it, and they were able to do the kneel down to get 2 points and get up the road to win the game. So I'm going to say this. The Argos could have put a 50 or even possibly a 60 burger on Saskatchewan. There was a couple of big time. There was a couple of big drops that occurred. Tyler, I think there was Mackay Polk in the end zone and Tyler Common in the end zone as well. I honestly think this team could have beaten Saskatchewan by a lot more. But ultimately, we still came out with the win. And I know there's some Saskatchewan fans out there bitching about the refereeing. Look, they gave you guys a touchdown pretty much by ignoring an offside. Okay? What more? I know you want them. I know you want the preferential treatment, but come on. Anyways, 2 points and up the road for Toronto. Go to 2-1, which is ultimately really fantastic considering the road schedule, because now coming up, they got to go to Calgary. A place that hasn't been kind to Toronto. Okay? Calgary, out of the last 20, since the year 2000, okay? Calgary has won 18 encounters with Toronto at McMahon Stadium. Quite a few of those games were the Argos only scoring single digits in points. And you combine all that with the fact that they've won the last 4 encounters at McMahon Stadium. And on top of all that, it's the Stampede Bowl. So this is like the guaranteed win game for Calgary. The odds are against Toronto here, big time. But the way they're playing, they might just pull it through. Anyway, we're going to find that out. We're going to find that out in a few days. Once again, inebriated instant reaction will follow that game as well. As for me, I'm going to be going to Calgary as well. So it'll be live from McMahon Stadium, the inebriated instant reaction. So that's going to be fun. And yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for me here for the Upon Sober review. Toronto is doing good things right now. Don't sleep on them. And we all know the rest of the league is. Anyway, like and subscribe. I will talk to you guys again in a few days. Cheers, everybody.